day? And the answer I got back was never.
No, it was sort of incredible. And what was so interesting about it, it all happened at that key time I've been telling everybody about for 2 years, which is Genesis time frame. And it all happened right around that time frame. And I think, I think it's pretty wild that it moved like it did. I mean, if you look at some of these stocks, you look at some of the movement, but it's interesting, and I showed it to people earlier. We went to that low, Chuck, you know this very well. Went to that low, then we tested the low, then we tested the low again today in the overnight trading, and then it had that little bias going on, and then the news hit. And I think that maybe the bond market had a lot to do with it, and I think that with the bond market, with the news that came in, where there was some, I guess, shenanigans going on there, uh, it pretty well put a lot of people that trade the bonds in jeopardy because of the rapid fall. You know, Usually you see bonds climb, but you never see them fall like that. That was like an unbelievable fall. The way it went. When I first saw it, Chuck, I started searching it and I said, did, did they change the way they calibrate bonds? I mean, I've never seen it fall so far. And then
Hmm.
eventually my research turned up the fact that it was the hedge funds delevering, and then with China being hard to get along with, they were the second largest bondholder. So it'll come out in a few days what happened, but my guess is a combination of a couple of factors that went on to do that. Okay. Um, but I think it was interesting just how people that saw the rally, that needed the rally, I guess, needed the rally, really had a sense of relief today. My advice was, after talking to several people, is to try to thin the herd a little bit on the rally. In other words, take it down to some controllable numbers, okay? And pretty interesting, I think.
And Tom, real quick, I want to call your attention to Steve's comment in the chat. Very happy with TQQQ today.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And by the
Yeah,
way, Steve,
what I did,
congratulations.
Chuck, I don't know if you remember this, about 2 years ago in 2022, I started teaching the TQQ, SQQ, and we taught it that year because people didn't know how to go short, and I found that SQQ and was a good way to do that in 2022. And when we got to a situation, what steered me that way this time was the option market was so
Wide
wide.
open.
I mean, I'm talking about options that usually have a tight bid and ask was so wide you could drive a truck through it. I said, you can't trade options. And I said, oh, well, okay. If it's going up, I'll buy the TQQ. If it's going down, I'll buy the SQQ. And David was at that class. He just said he remembers it. And I said, the interesting thing, David, remember how I told people back then that the 7 o'clock pre-market trade on the TQQ, SQQ was a great one? Okay. And pretty good. Yeah, Polly, the BitTo trade. Let me ask you, did everybody get the word? I said you might want to take a nibble of BitTo tonight. Did everybody get that word? I put it out to some of the rooms. BitTo, BITO. Yeah, it. I think it's worth the risk to do it because with with the kind of market you have, it's about $1 a wrist on that stock, and it's been up to 25, 27. It looked good to me, so I took some of it down too. Okay, Bitto. Okay, and you can trade it. The other thing, you trade it 24 hours. I like that. Okay, just buying the stock, Bitto, BITO. So we go in tomorrow, and somebody asked about CPI. CPI is always a big number. Comes out at 8:30 tomorrow, and you got Asia opening right now. You got, you have you'll see a markup there. You've got Hong Kong opening. I don't know about what you're going to see there because of what's going on with China, but you got Germany. You got the FTSE, the Swiss, and the CAC, opening. So you should have some follow through around the globe is what I would expect. And a channel, hey folks, here's a good channel I'll tell you about. I hardly ever do this, but there's a channel called Bloomberg. They keep up with the world markets pretty good. If you get Bloomberg on your TV set, uh, it's like an extra quote machine watching Bloomberg. Okay, I hardly ever watch it except on days or nights like this. But Chuck, we started with the Globex machine many years ago, staying up all night, doing that, learning all this stuff. And here we are, we find ourselves in 2025. As I told people today, this might be the buying opportunity of a lifetime, at least for 2025, because we know where the low is now, down
Yeah,
there at 48, 45. And so we can play off that low with our risk. And anyway, I just think that both Marianne get approved for everything they'll let you trade. Okay.
Tom,
And
one thing I want to weigh in on. You talk about that
yeah,
Globex machine. You remember when we went limit up in the overnight market?
I do.
Right. And that, I got to be honest with you, that's really what kicked off my interest in this market, that it can move so much so fast, and yet there's some measure of control. Right. So we know this market can move so fast, or so far, so fast. Now all we need is the control. And I think that's your line to tell us about how to control this market.
Yeah, one thing I will tell everybody is that you got a lot of people that have sold calls to hedge themselves. Think about that. They sold calls against stocks. It moves so fast today. You got a lot of shorts that are going to support this rally. At least you will find that if they do take it down, it'll be taken down where they can't get out of those short positions. So 9:30 tomorrow should have some buying in the market, okay? And I think that is something that you got to think about tomorrow, okay? And because if you're caught short, let's say that you had a credit call spread on because the market's bearish. Anybody have one of those where you shorted a call and and you got called if you were out of pocket, right? So you got a lot of people, you got an imbalance there now. I think that you got an imbalance there that's going to support, the market. Okay, if you think about it from that standpoint. And so it wouldn't surprise me if the CPI doesn't take us down a little bit. You'll see more buying come back in, at least in the early hours. But I'll be up and I'll be talking, and like I always am. But I think you can, I think that's a pretty odds-on bet. is what I'm thinking, okay? Because every time it sells off tonight, I've noticed that buying steps in, okay? Once they get you in, hey, once they get you in the trap, they won't let you out. I've been there. I've had my face peeled many times not understanding that about the dynamics of the move, okay? So it's almost like a free shot, at least until we get past that, or to CPI in the morning and that kind of stuff, okay? Yes, I'm sure I will, Jim. I'm sure I will. I tell you, I had who made my daily wrap up? Let me ask that question. Who made my daily wrap up today? That was, I tell you, nicest crowd. Made me feel real good. I've been doing these daily wrap ups every day because that's the only way that I've learned over the years to work with students and stuff is to stay in front of you. A lot of people will hide from you, but I've always stayed in front of my people because when you get this kind of movement this fast. I did it during COVID, did it during '08, did it during all the major moves that we've had. So let me get into the session and my futures first, people. I've got a I've got a trade I'll be doing later on tonight there. Okay. Uh, it's in gold. Okay. I'll just tell everybody that it's in gold. But I've got a trade that I look at and it looks like the odds are in our favor. I'll do it tonight, somewhere around 9:30. Okay. If you're in futures first. Who is in futures first right now? Let me ask that question. Who's here that's in futures first? Polly? Yep. Okay. About 9 o'clock or so, 9:15, I'll post a trade to be a spread on gold, okay? Perfect. All right, folks, I want to get started and join my Telegram channel. If you can't get in Telegram, like they said, send an email, that'll help you get in. My YouTube channel's there. You can check it out. Risk involved in trading, past performance is not indicative of future results. Folks that don't know me, I'm a former Air Force officer, active trader since the 70s, former member of Chicago Mercantile Exchange, author of 3 books, and I work with a bunch of people as traders, 100,000 plus. My first book, Winning the Day Trading Game. Anybody listen to the audio I've been posting for people to listen to? They ought to listen to that. Maybe Adam or John can post it in there if you don't have it. But I think it's a good book to listen to during these times of rapid change. Markets never sleep. You ask me, do I ever sleep? Sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but it's a great book, way ahead of its time, talking about the 24-hour market. Okay. And then, of course, trade to win, the attitude you got to have. DTI will help you master the markets through education, training, and experience. I've done some training this week, hadn't I, boys and girls? Stuff you never get anywhere else. Not written in any textbook. I learned it through the School of Hard Knocks, and I hope it helped everybody. Seemed like it did based on the results I saw today. In my opinion, trading is a longevity game. You got to think of one trade versus the next 10,000 you're going to do and not get so caught up. You're going to have losers. And when you do, you got to move on. I talked to one guy that was down and out, and today he had a $5,000 day. And it made me feel so good to see that kind of recovery after he got his head right. Okay. Market's still down 7% for the year. NASDAQ's down 9. think about it, it gained 12% today, so it was down 21% starting today. That's the kind of move Chuck was talking about. DAX is up all year, up 8%. Gold is up 17.34%. Crude, boy, crude went down to $55. And very interesting story there. It's going a lot lower. It's going down to 45. Not quite time to get into it, but I will. And bonds are still up 1.54 for the year. Stocks I gave people, and boy, they were good stocks. If you look at it, I want to just compare some of these tickers. They went way down, 398 on the QQQ. All these shorts would have paid if you got in there and traded in. Dollar General is still about $10 away. Berkshire is headed towards 538. AMM 111.40. This is one you want to look at. I'm really bullish on this stock. I checked it tonight. It's $25. This stock's about ready to run. Okay. And gold gets above 290. It's off to new highs. BJ above 120 should be good. Now, today, if you wasn't in front of a computer, if you wasn't watching the market, I built an algorithm to tell you about days like today. It's called Genesis. It really is good to keep up with the market and the movement. You could have been out, you'd have been notified, hey, market's reversed, here's what you ought to buy. It's been out there, we've modified it a few times, it's great. Booking 100 trades with it over 278.13%. I think people that have it, love it, our beta group, and that's the reason we're bringing it tonight. It's a trading indicator that works 24 hours a day to set up things like today. It's a process it goes through. You cut all the guesswork out when you get a signal like it gave today. Unlike it to be maybe your best trading year. Maybe kicked off the best trading day of the year today as it gave the signal. You should have seen some of the gains that people were talking about. And I don't know why anybody would want to use this in the background of what they're doing. You can get started as early as tonight. You can go to the master classes. You'll be ready to go. Nothing complicated about it. It tells you two words: buy or sell, and then tells you what to do if it gives those signals. I can't get more simple than that. Genesis, what makes it unique, and that's why the rally came after Genesis today, is when all the world's markets are closed. That's when Genesis is so valuable. It isolates those stocks that are breaking out, and you know exactly which stocks are the ones to ride. It generates those alerts. Whether you're in front of a computer, all you got to do is have access to the internet, either through your cell phone or wherever you're at. Gives you entry price, your profit target, and where to place your exit. Even information how to select the right options to do. Right in the palm of your hand. The signal comes, you can use it for any market that's directional in basis. That includes futures. Now, it flagged a bunch of stocks today that broke out. Let me walk you through how the membership's going to work. Every day, Genesis will scan through the biggest and most liquid stocks out there, the SPY, the QQQ. One of the students today bought off Genesis an option. I want you to listen to this at $2. He sold it at 12. Did that get your attention? Well, there are other trades in Genesis. GLD, gold, USO. One of these tickers breaking out during the Genesis hour tells you got the signal, and it's pretty neat. You hear that ding in your pocket, whether you're in front of the computer or out messing around. Lunch, playing golf. When you get that ding, you know to check your phone, look at it, and you're ready to go. Each trade has a ticker, entry price, stop loss, and profit target. All the information that you need when you're doing your thing. Target your next great win. On this one here, QQQ paid 51%. Think about that. That was then, but today on the signal, it was 6 times, 600%. He did it. He was telling us about it at 3. Very easy to see. Remember I said it's not complicated. If it tells you to buy, it tells you where to go to buy, how to buy, and where to get out. 1, 2, 3. The Genesis alerts are generated via the Telegram channel. No delay in getting information right to you. The portal's open 24/7 to give you all the downloads that you need, all the master classes that I've done to set you up. Through the master classes, we answer the questions and do that. And since I'm bringing it tonight, write this down. Next week, I will have 2 major master classes to make sure everybody understands the importance of Genesis. I've been talking about it for over 2 years. I discovered it during a futures class with a group. They saw it work and the power of this signal. No shortage of opportunity. Now, it will help you target some of the big outside returns. Like I showed you, you need to use options to get those. Now, if you do options, that's okay. I've got a simple option course I put together that show you the basic form of options. Call options or put options. So here's the way it's going to work. Tomorrow at 12, you will get a signal, either on your computer or on your phone. The signal will say, buy this, go up, buy this, and go down, or stay out of that particular ticket. Very clear. It's a process that works in rain or shine, and you apply those trades through this process. Unique ways to leverage your time as your assistant is helping you get you on the right side of the market. The boot camp will teach you how to go from beginner to expert with options. So don't fear, I'm the guy to teach you. I even got some income techniques in those that prefer safer approach. Options that don't cost an arm and a leg, but options that will pay you when you're right. And you're going to be right approximately 4 out of 5 times. New members who join today are equipped to hit the ground running right from the gates. Like the Genesis trade done last October 11th, you entered for 92 cents or $92 a contract. Simple instructions. Get in, go long, bang, 107% gain. $84 a contract, 84 cents, 266% gain. Not the 600 we had today. Now, say you put 2,500 on that trade. Doesn't have to happen today, but it can. $9,325 in cash. That already gets your attention. Had one guy today hit it for a $25,000 round trip. Not a bad day, would you say? $25,000. Now we have some pretty fancy coaching programs here, but this is the future of keeping track of what I would call the signals that work. Nothing like it. Now, if you're here, not going to cost you the 10. We set it up where everybody here can be part of Genesis and have it working for you as early as tomorrow. The smart algo is one you want. A lot of different possibilities. Follow Genesis. Go with it. Trust it. Follow the instructions, A, B, and C, and tell you exactly when to get in. Or if it's going down, they break down also. If they're selling, it'll let you know. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. You don't want to be there without Genesis doing its work. Promise me you won't be there without Genesis working for you. Now, trades up or down is totally not biased at all about what happened today. It takes the data, it computes it, and it tells you a clear path to make it happen. Entry, whether it's a call, whether it's a put. And with what I taught you with the TQQ and SQQ, you can use that when you get to buy or sell signal. Let me be clear. These downside trades have the same profit potential as upside. Now, consider this 3-day market crash we saw last year. What happened? Picked up the short opportunity right on schedule. Home run trade, 168%, 283%, 324%. Back in July. Picked up the big run today, going up. 2,000 of those down trades would have paid you $84.80. One of the 3 downside trades hit that week, Genesis downside bonus included. No surprise that the officially set at $42.95, but we got a special. I want everybody to have it. Here it is. That's the price. Look at it, $42.95. 1-year access. Now, here comes the bonuses. Listen up. $500 off that price. Follow the math, but not just that. 5 times per day times $500 gives you a $2,500 discount off the price. Takes it to $17.95. But because of what's happening and where everybody is, I'm making sure you can get in tonight at half that. Entire membership should be, with this kind of movement, should help you out. Icing on the cake. Look. Prim said he subscribed last Friday. I already covered his capital plus $1,000 extra. I didn't see Prim on the testos today. Or Whitney. $500 first week. The algo is designed to make up for a lot of experience you don't have. That's why bonus number 2, half off discount tonight. If you take action, you'll pay half the cost for the next year. Every day you'll have it. The discounted price half off, $8.97. Now one more bonus to make sure you hit the ground running. I'm including 2 live trading events next week to walk you through this to make sure you understand how powerful it is. See exactly how I use it for maximum impact. Now, the $8.97 will only be guaranteed to the first 250 in the door. Now, take action, get the support you need, go through the master classes I've already done, and guess what? Here we come. $8.97 for instant access. Deal will be cut off after it's sold out. Don't miss out. Here we go. Now, it's up to them if they want to keep going longer. But if you want to be a new member, click the link in the chat. Adam dropped the link. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis. Now think about this. You won't have to worry about things happening like today. You'll know about it. You'll be able to trade it. You'll be able to do everything that you expect to happen. Call 904-706-3532. Entries are waiting. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis or call 904-706-3532. Take what we call the best deal. Don't close the page. You'll get a chance to upgrade to lifetime, and you get free access to a Genesis algo indicator that you can put on any ticker outside the big ones. The Genesis entry signals on the 5 most popular are offered. The indicator's there, and you'll have the ability to check any indicator in the world if you go VIP. Instant access for it. A lot of epic setups on the way. Upgrade your account to lifetime and take one of the best deal memberships today. Remember, we're going to stop it at $250. Don't miss out. New Genesis entries waiting for you. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis. Now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to sign up. You're going to get a welcome email. You're going to go through the easy steps to get on board. You'll have Genesis on your computer, and you'll be ready to rock and roll at 12 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. How about it? Get involved. Now, there's also a special bonus at $9.95. You get access for free for signing up tonight. Special cheat sheet. Nobody else has it. You'll have it. Give you insight on the stocks that scans in real time. Click the link in the chat right now or give us a call. And if you're a gold member, you know who you are. Call in. We've been instructed to give you a special discount. So call in and talk to one of our salespeople. Kelly's here. Jeffrey's here. Find out. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis or call 904-706-3532. This Genesis has been around for a long time. I finally put it in an algo, and it's working like a charm. Here it is. Have it. What I like about it, you'll be able to do well. That's one of the first trades. Look at that one. QQQ. 315%. 1,500 on that one. One trade. Here's some of the students said. 1930 in less than 4 days. Oh, Dickens. Or Nancy said, made 1606. But the beautiful thing about it, at 12 o'clock for the following hour, you will be able to take advantage of everything that happens during that hour. You should have seen what people were posting at 3 o'clock with what Genesis did for them. LC said the best algo he's ever had in his entire life. That's a big statement. It's accurate. It will help you. Eddie, here's a few more top stories. George, been trading for 28 years. He likes the way I do things. And he knows if I tell you this is going to help you, it's going to work. Sylvan said he used it for COP. He's a VIP. Look at that. Subscription paid. Everybody needs a cop. KP said, subscription back. Look, they were paying the full boat. You're getting it at half the cost. Robert said $2,000. Everybody should be part of it. All amazing stories. I can't wait to hear from more people. Robert, Sylvan, George. Take the best deal before it runs out. They'll be marking it heavy. Grab lifetime plus the indicator on the next page. Get serious. Let's make some money together. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis. One thing I want you to remember. This is the focus, that 12 to 1 time frame. It separates the rest of the day, the rest of the 24 hours. You've got to know that hour. Rest is noise. Real money's made after seeing Genesis do its thing. Now, these stocks that are breaking out repeatedly hit their targets. Look at the Russell 2000 back in June. There it is. Not much happening. Bada bing, bada bing. From then, Genesis hour, everything changed. The pop came. The Asian markets were closed. European markets were closed. It was breaking out. Up we went. You got alerted automatically. And look what came next. 114% gain. Watch what happened on July 16th. In the morning, markets were not doing very much. During the Genesis hour, it showed their cards. The Russell started breaking out. No more boring at lunch. Here we go. The entry alert would have came, told you which option to buy. In about 30 seconds, you made the trade, go about your merry way. 125% gain. Folks, it takes emotions out of this game. Follow the algorithm. It will beat you heads up anytime because it doesn't have emotions. July 22nd, here we go, breakout. Automatic entry, build in option selection, target, and away we go. 280% gain on ticker IWM. They're waiting for you. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis or call 704-706-3532. This is hot off the press. Kevin, the Genesis program helps you understand the changes of market when Europe is not trading anymore. It's significantly improved his entry, like I told him it would. His exit, like I told him it would. It's for beginners or experienced traders. He made $8,000 on Tuesday, okay? Posted it in the room. This is the hour you pay attention to, and this will take you beyond your experience with what this algo will do. Take a look at that report over the last 10 years. Look at it close. You find out this is what sets up the day. It's not at 9:30 in the morning when the market opens. $11 a.m. Here we go. So on and so forth. It's the most bullish time of the day. Not even close, by a landslide. 12 o'clock. The Genesis hour has been around for years. We used to call it the noon balloon. Remember that, Adam? The noon balloon. You don't miss on your next automated entry from the Genesis algo. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis or call. Remember, the offer's a no-brainer tonight. You get it at half price, $8.97. Try it. Go through the simple steps, get it on your computer, be ready to go tomorrow. It will be active for you tomorrow. You don't have to wait. Easy to sign up for. Look, mathematical win rate, 78%. That's 4 out of 5. If you're a beginner, you couldn't get a better start than having Genesis working for you. Hey, you got 14 days, try it out. Get in here and try it. See if it works for you. If not, get a refund. We don't care. There'll be a master class for you next week. We'll trade these things to noon together, from noon to 1. It'll be on the schedule next week and you'll be able to participate. You go with it. Inexpensive options or expensive options, just get paid. That's the goal. Private targets and stops are built in, simple to follow. You don't need a big account to do this. Like I said, minimum from $1 to $3. They're limiting the total number of people they're going to accept due to the back administration. Make sure our team's ready to go with you when you're up and running. Smooth as gravy. I like that. Then it'll be shut in. Don't pay the $42.95 online. Don't pay the $17.95. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis. Here's the bonus. Education that I will give. That'll be worth $8.97 learning what I'm going to teach you next week. And Genesis can do for your trading. Look what Thomas G said. 25,000 a day. What do you think about that? How about that? $5,000. This was all posted today by Bruno. Kevin, 1,800. Another 300. 2,000. Genesis, well worth the money according to Jason. Folks, these are customers like you out there using Genesis on a daily basis. There it is. That's what it looks like. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis. You heard from your fellow students how powerful it is. Don't trade anymore without having this working for you in the background. Don't do that. Be on the right side. Let it work for you. Pretty wild just how good this program is. You know, I conceived it because I missed a big trade because I was at a lunch and I said, man, I'm going to get the computer and we're going to put an algorithm together to let me know what I look for when I'm doing my discretionary trading. I did it. We put it together. It took a lot of time, but we got it done. And it just flows into you right now. So from 12 to 1, you're covered. I think it's pretty good stuff to be able to do this for you. So, if you got any questions other than what I've covered, type it in the thing. The dots are connected in the Genesis program. There you go. Folks, think about it. What if you're doing something tomorrow at 12, you're not looking at the market, and all of a sudden you get the signal? Think about, hey, here's a hypothetical. Let's say you had a bunch of short calls spreads today, and you got Genesis firing off buy. You don't think that would have saved you the money that you're faced with having to deal with now, knowing that? Yeah, it works on any platform. Thank you for purchasing it, Polly. Does everybody understand that scenario? You're out of pocket. You got these trades on. This has happened to me. And all of a sudden, the market does what it did. It takes off, and you're on the wrong side of history. Guess what? You're going to know now. You go, bull, buy. Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to be on the right side. I don't know how you trade without having it. I'm putting my stamp of approval on it, and that means a lot. Thomas, learn the right way. Get it. Pretty cool. And to back you up, I'm going to teach you next week, after they get to 250 out there, next week, all the new people, I'm going to teach you some things that even improve your odds, like I did today. like I did today. Any other questions? Adam, I got a question. If people are not familiar with computers, is it hard to get Genesis on their computer? Yeah, because that would be a fear I would have. You know, I know how to use computers to trade with, but I'm not big on the computer stuff, if you know what I mean. They tell me it's simple, and I like simple. Who likes simple? No, it's in Telegram. No, that's it. Chris says, I like simple. All right, that's our plan. Great instructions, right, Carrie? P says, I love simple. All right, folks, I'm wrapping it up. If you're in my futures, look for about 9:30 for a trade. Tyler wants in, Kelly. Get Tyler in. Mike, set up a time to get on the phone with me. I'd love to talk to you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The daily double stand is in the morning time frame, the first hour. Genesis happens at 12 to 1 Eastern time. I don't know how much extra is for the VIP, Carrie. I really don't. The master classes will be held next week. And typically, the way I always do, I promise two, I'll probably do more than two to make sure everybody has got a solid foundation. You don't want to trade without this indicator. You don't want to trade without it. And that's a fact. If your name was Jack, I would say, that's a fact, Jack. Can you imagine how much money you would have saved yourself having this working for if you were short calls today? Think about it. If you were short calls today, think how much money you would have saved having Genesis. Or if you're long stocks 3 days ago when it said get out and go short, think how much money you would have saved. You would have missed about 12% downturn last Thursday when he gave a sell signal. Pretty good stuff, huh? You got to know this information. You got to use it. And you can't do it all, folks. You got to use technology to keep up with these fast moving markets. I've sat here and I do all this. I still miss things. Right, Polly? Now think about that. Last Thursday, it says sell, sell, sell. And you learn to trust that algo. What's it going to do for you? You're going to go to the sideline. Today, it said buy, buy, buy. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to buy or cover shorts or get rid of anything that goes down when the market goes up. I love it. And we know what time it is too, don't we? From 12 to 1. All right, folks. I tried my very best. I can't do any more. Oh, you can put gold in there too, Polly. Good idea. Good idea. It trades 24/7. I can't believe they cut that price in half though. That's pretty cheap for what you're getting. All right, folks, it's time to get back to the market. Y'all have a good night. Thank you very much. As I always say, I'll see you on the flip side. Hey, that's a good thing. I'm going to get long gold tonight, right? If Genesis comes out tomorrow and says get short gold, I'll get out of gold at 12 tomorrow. Think about that one. That's another way of using it. 9:30, Fred. Thank you very much.